If there was ever a magic wand or a lot more money that kind of came into the provincial coffers, or if I had anything to do with the decision-making process, I would make some kind of a priority to connect these towns, because it seems like an opportunity to really open up another major avenue for tourism in the province. I talked about the Baie-Verte Peninsula, Lassie, Burlington, a couple of towns in there. Just wanted to put in a quick honorable mention to the town of Kings Point. It's actually not on the Baie-Verte Peninsula, but it's in the same area in Green Bay, White Bay, Baie-Verte. We're in Kings Point right now. It's a little town pretty close to Springdale. You might be familiar with Springdale Central. Kings Point is an absolute hidden gem in terms of tourism in Newfoundland. I think not a lot of people know about it. It's a very different type of town in terms of tourism. It doesn't have a deep fishing history like a lot of the towns that you think of when you think of Newfoundland tourism. Its history is rooted really in forestry, and there is some fishing there. It is a town on the water. It leads out to the ocean from Green Bay, but it's just a very different type of town. The history of the town is very different, and the sort of look of the town, the way that it's been designed, and talking about traveling around Newfoundland in the fall and what's unique about it. This is a one-of-a-kind town and pretty little place. My brother actually taught here for a couple of years back, 5 or 6 years ago, I think, a little while ago, but we wanted to pop in to see where he lived for a little while. You can see on a map how close the town of Middle Arm or even Burlington is to the town of Kings Point, just going in a straight line, but there is no road that leads between the two towns. So if you're in Middle Arm or Burlington, to get to Kings Point, you got an hour and a half or so of drive ahead of you. You got to backtrack through the Baie-Verte Peninsula, which is fine. But if I had a magic wand or a lot more money than I do, or if I actually made any of the decisions related to tourism in the province of Newfoundland, one of the things that I would seriously look at is connecting Kings Point to Middle Arm, and then onward up into Lassie, creating another road through the Baie-Verte Peninsula to get from Burlington directly to Lassie. I don't know how road construction policies are created, and that's certainly not part of the decision-making process. And I know it's complicated, but just saying, from my experience, if there was a way to connect Kings Point to Middle Arm, onto Burlington, onto Lassie, it just would open up a very, very interesting pathway for tourism in Newfoundland and Labrador. If money wasn't an object, or whatever else goes into the policy making for road construction in a province like Newfoundland, it just seems like there's a huge opportunity connecting a gem like Kings Point to a gem like Burlington to a gem like Lassie. I just love to see that happen. If there was ever a possibility to open up that corridor, I believe it's like the prettiest 3 towns that I've seen in Newfoundland. And they're so close in proximity, but so disconnected, so hard to get between them. Opening up an avenue to connect all 3 of them would just be awesome.